Hi TikTok. I trust you. I trust you guys are good. Where my effect is doing things. What do I do now? Okay, let me try and fix my effects. Hi everybody. Okay, TikTok is doing shenanigans. Hi. Bam. Okay. Welcome one, welcome all. Yes, we are back. We're back. Let me tap. Everybody, please tap the screen. Yes, so that the algorithm can see that we are on. Let's remind the algorithm of who we are. Okay, so let's straighten this thing up. Yes, okay. So welcome, everybody. I trust you guys are good. Yes, we are back again. Let me share this to my story. Okay. Well. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3. And then I'm sending it to my story. Then we send it to WhatsApp. Again. one, and we are these are my write down emotions. I personally believe in because I feel like emotions are vast. They are too complex. They are you then name and whatever is named, it right? So it means that you have this life entity now in your face. You interact with it like this entity that is now contained, right? You can now say it, I know, right? Welcome, so it is now contained. So that's what the diary prompts you to do. You write out your emotions and you bite sizes because life is already overwhelming. If you take gallons of planning, you will then get overwhelmed again, right? So this diary prompts you to write down your feelings and right? Is your it's a Thank you, thank you for renewing. Welcome back, your majesty. Welcome back. It's nice having you back. Right. So, if you're interested in getting the book diary or the book on its own or the diary on its own, just WhatsApp the number on your screen and we'll take it from there. Right. And these sessions, by the way, in as much as it seems like I'm right? So if you have a whether yeah, whatever race, whatever ethnicity, whatever gender, whatever that you are, these sessions you right. So it's everybody's cup of tea, really. Okay, so without wasting any time, let's get to the sessions. Okay, welcome everybody. Facebook, welcome TikTok. Okay, so today we are on week 31 and we are talking about choosing the right school. Okay, so before we go any further, I just want to define what school is, right? Outside of the surface level definition, because we live in a world whereby we feel like school is just a place or buildings where children go to earn academic certificates, right? Well, it's beyond that. That is just the tip of the iceberg. School is a formal education platform which is not neutral, right? So choosing the right home is about alignment that nurtures your child's mindset and so you understand that it is beyond just getting academic certificate. It is beyond just a key though nowadays it's not, but then that's not where we are today. Right. So it's beyond key to success. It's beyond just being a place where they get their academic certificate. It's beyond socialization. It is literally where they who they are, where they earn their sense of identity in the where they earn their sense of identity in the world, where they learn how to take up space or not take up space at all. So it literally shapes who they are. So now let's go to number one. Okay. The spectrum of schooling. What you want to say? Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, that's the spectrum of schooling. Because the spectrum is something that is from this point to this point. So the whole space in between is the spectrum. So let's talk about it from this to there. In no particular order, the first one is public schools. There are schools called public schools. Let me explain what public schools are. Right? So public schools are platform open to the general public, right? And it's often free, depending on the country you are in. Especially in my country, in my country, primary school is free. They are now working on making high school free of charge to right in the government spaces. Okay, so yes, the public schools they are free in some uh, regions, and they are open to general So self-explanatory, right? It's just these schools that whereby everybody is welcome. If it's not free, it's very much affordable, right? For anybody, those who are not maybe um, making enough resources, but when they sit down with themselves, they are actually able to afford, right? So it's those kind of schools. Um, they're accessible, that diverse, because everybody can go, right? And they often have limited resources because if something is free, obviously, where are they going to get uh, the resources to have certain things like equipment, material, extracurricular activities, right? All of those things. So you may not be able to align your child with those accessories, right? But it is very rich in community, right? Because people, a lot of people are able to go there, because most people, more than 50% of the population, can afford to go to public school and are willing to go to public school, right? That's what public schools are. And then the second level in the spectrum is public school, right? In no particular order, by the way. I'm not saying that this one is more important than this one or this one is better than, no. I'm just saying that within the spectrum, I'm juggling it up. I'm taking here, taking there, taking there, taking there, right? So yes. So there's private schools, right? So public schools are institution open to those with financial resources. Here you pay. Here you pay. Unlike public schools are subsidized, right? Even though you do pay, but then the payment is affordable to even those who are below the average wage, let me call it like that, right? But here you have to know your story when it comes to resources now, you see. So yeah, you have to have that muscle when it comes to resources. So it's open to those with financial resources. It is costly, and it has special programs, right? So here, because you pay, they then have the ability to outsource some certain activities like swimming, robotics, ballet, right? All of those things that the school can actually invite so that you guys can pay. Okay. However, in government schools, even if they can bring those external extracurricular activities, there is a high chance that the parents cannot be able to afford. Okay, so there are those nuances in line with the private school and the public school. Okay, so here it is structured. It's a bit elite and less communal. Okay, so by structured I mean that there are a lot of activities and structures in place that you follow, that okay, this is like that, you cannot divert from this. This is like that, because of this you cannot divert from this, right? So it's structured in that manner, and it's a bit elite, right? We're getting to elite schools. Oh, did it charge? Sorry guys, did you give it to Pep? Oh, why are you turning on?
How does this start? This is a new start.
No, it was off.
But I pressed here. But it didn't turn on.
Yes, when it's off you press hard and wait until it opens, just like you open any other phone.
Oh,
okay. Sorry about that, everybody. So where was I? Yes. It's a bit elite. By elite I mean that it's somehow starting to segregate. Okay, it's starting to say some people are not allowed due to some reasons, right? Right now it's segregating people in line with their financial muscle, right? So that's why I'm saying it's starting to be a bit elite, because it's starting to segregate. Okay. We'll get to elite schools, but right now we're in private schools, so that's why I'm saying it's a bit elite, and it's less communal. By less communal I mean that compared to public schools. Public schools, sometimes there is this thing called soup kitchen, whereby every child can go there and they eat together. It's just a big pot whereby everybody eats, right? Here it's starting to be a bit isolated. No sharing of lunch boxes, no doing this and this, right? We're starting to draw lines, starting to go individualistic. Okay, so it's less communal, private schools. And then now I'm going to elite schools. Now, as I've said, I'm going to explain what elite schools are. Okay, so elite schools are closed. They're not private, they're not public, they're just closed. Okay, so only a certain group of people are allowed to go to these schools. Mostly these schools are set about by the extremely wealthy, like what we call the 1%, the elites, whatever you choose to call it, right? Because they want to educate their children in line with power, in line with these secret esoteric knowledge that shouldn't be known by the general public, because once they're known by the general public, then they cease to be esoteric, right? It means that they're just any other form of knowledge, just like breathing air, so it's not that important. When something is not unique, it loses its value, right? So they're trying to keep their knowledge within their circle so that it keeps being, yeah, like that, right? So it's not just Tom, Dick and Harry. Okay, even if you can have enough money, if you are not part of the society. So that's why I'm saying it's closed. It's not just private, it's closed. Okay, so those are the elite schools. And then we have religious schools, right? These schools integrate faith and academics producing and emphasizing on spirituality. So it's basically weekly time church. It's basically weekly Sunday school. Right? So those are the kind of schools. They are primarily fostering. Sorry guys, let me check which router I'm connected to here on Facebook. So they are primarily, oh no, I think it's just the laptop. It's just glitching. It's connected to the right router most. No, you need to run. Right. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so where was I? I was saying that they are primarily propelling spirituality. Academia is just secondary. Otherwise, their first lesson is spirituality first, then academia later. Okay, so these are religious schools. And then alternative schools, right? These are Montessori, your Waldorf, your Rego Emilia, your Beacon of Light, right? All of these schools that emphasize creativity, independence, and holistic development. Okay, so here, yes, we understand academia, but we are 20 parts academia, 20 parts creativity, 20 parts emotional intelligence, 20 parts holistic understanding, which is your spirituality, your psychology, and all that, right? And 20 parts exploration, right? We are trying to tackle the whole human being in its whole entirety, right? We're not just looking at their intelligence, we're not just looking at their emotions, we're not just looking at their intuition, we're not just looking at their aura, we are looking at everything that makes up this manifestation of an entity, right? So these are those kind of schools. They're extremely rare, but they're there. I for one have this school. However, for me, it's online. It's an online school. It's 100% virtual, but I'm not going to disclose everything. If you're interested, just WhatsApp the number on your screen, right? So that's what we do. Okay, it's called alternative schools. And then there's homeschooling. Okay, so homeschooling is when parents reclaim education, right? It is when the parents, they are the ones incorporating learning into the child, right? So here the parent is the one teaching the child math, teaching the child language, all of those things that they're going to get at school. Now it rests on the parent as the teacher, right? However, here there's some misinformation, but we're going to delve deeper on homeschooling as we move along. There'll just be a section on homeschooling on its own, so that you're able to understand better what it is, because there are also certificates here. If the parent is wise enough to know when to incorporate what, when, and how, then you're good to go. Okay, but we're going to talk about it as we move along. I was saying that the good thing about homeschooling is that the pace, the values, curriculum, etc. is 100% in your hands as the parent. Okay, so now there are also hybrid models. We're still talking about schools here, the types of schools. There's also hybrid models. Hybrid models, then they combine school attendance. The child goes to school, a formal school, but then they're part-time. Maybe they go at a school or a structured place, an institution. They go there Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right? And then maybe Tuesdays and Thursdays they are homeschooled, right? And then on Saturday they are going to Montessori, right? That's a hybrid school. You're just picking lots of types and then combining them in one. It's called hybrid schooling. So yes, those are the schools I have personally. As I normally say, whatever I speak about here is according to me. It's not cast in stone, and it's not the be all and all, right? It's just according to me. Take some, leave some, take nothing, take it all, but just know that this is just a template. Edit it your own way, or just discard it altogether and build your own, right? It's a race. Life is a race. We are running a relay. I have information, which means I'm the one who's currently running, and then I'm giving the baton over to you. And when you're given the baton, you don't just take it and sit and be like, oh, I have received it, therefore it is. No, 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 no. You take the baton and run with it. So when you're given information, take it and edit it your own way. That, okay, this will work for me, this won't work for me, this is fine with me, this is not fine with me, okay, this I can develop it like that, I can, right? So this is just a template. So according to me, these are the school systems. Maybe they're more, maybe they're less, maybe I've, right? So do your thing, do your own research, do your own understanding, tap into your inner self, tap into your inner or higher self, and understand who you truly are. Facebook, am I okay or I'm glitching so much? I can't even change the router of Facebook. I hope I am not glitching, dear Facebook, because the router I have connected to is just fine. Let me see if I connect to this one. Where guys, if you'd be interested in watching the version, the compiled version or the saved version, I will save this session to my YouTube. In fact, every session from week 1 up to week 31 is saved on YouTube. The link is in my profile on Facebook, in my profile on TikTok too, okay? So just go check it there. Okay, so now let's go to the key questions to ask, right? Okay, now I understand the types of schools that are there, but which one do I know is best for me and my child and my family, right? So now let's give you the guide, the key questions to ask. It's okay, which school is best for us? Okay, number 1, it's philosophy. Okay, understand your philosophy. Ask yourself this: does the school's teaching style match our values as a family? Match my child's values, right? Because by now, by the time a child goes to school, we already know what type of child they are, right? We now understand them. They've exposed their personalities, their traits, their sole purpose. So now we're just asking ourselves that, okay, is the school I'm taking my child to in line with the values they have, in line with the values our family hold, right? So that's the first question you should ask, in line with philosophy. Okay, so number 2, Facebook today is a mess. Shame. I am so sorry, guys, but there's nothing I can do to help you. You'll check it out on YouTube, okay? So number 2, understand the environment, okay? So ask yourself that, is it safe? Is this space, the school, safe? Is it nurturing? Is it inclusive? Don't take your child to a school you have seen or that has been that has had rumors of stabbings, right? There have been more than 10 stabbings at the school, but you're taking your child there, right? So understand the safety, right? Safety of the structure, safety of the environment. You can see that the buildings are falling down, they've got cracks, but you're taking your child there, right? So look at the environment. And also, is the environment nurturing, right? And you're taking your child to a school by they'll be like, hey, there are insults thrown, the teachers are just diminishing everything, right? So understand that, will this nurture who my child is or what my child is building towards? Is it also inclusive, right? And you're just taking, maybe, let's make an example, maybe the environment is clean, it's nice, the structures are perfect, well maintained, no stabbing, security is beautiful, it's very nurturing, your child will align well, their personality clicks well with the school's environment and school's principles and values and everything. However, it's an all-white school and they're very racist. Right, everything is perfect, but then it's not inclusive. So understand all of those things, okay? And then also understand the curriculum. Does it balance academia with creativity, emotional intelligence, and cultural grounding, or it's just focusing on producing, or it's just focusing on producing results, academia, when you know for sure that you are grooming an artist here, when you know for sure that your child is an athlete, you know for sure that your child is a designer, but here they want to push mathematics and biology, right? So we should bring your child to a school whereby the priority is who they are. Then the mathematics and English and whatever is incorporated, but doesn't then shadow who they truly are, right? So understand the curriculum. Is it a holistic curriculum? Will it nurture your child's sole purpose? Okay. And then also look at teacher quality. Okay. Are the educators empathic and passionate, or they are just credentialized, right? They have just hired teachers with qualifications. Otherwise, when you look closely, these people just don't give an F about children, or they just hate children altogether, right? So understand the teacher quality. And also community. Does the school foster collaboration between teacher and parent, right? And also, does it foster team building, right? Are children allowed to interact regardless of age, gender, ethnicity, beliefs, and all that, right? Is it diverse? Is it communal? Is it yin yanging, right? Because for me personally, I really wanted to go for the homeschooling route. As I've said, I have an online school that I'm doing, a holistic online school, okay, that I'm doing. However, I personally wanted to homeschool my kids because I'm an educator at heart. I'm very good at educating, and as much as I didn't do an education certificate at varsity, but I'm an educator at heart. It's a God-given gift, okay? I wanted to homeschool, but I don't have time for that. That's why I never established a physical school, right? That's why my school is online. I can only do 1 hour max a day and I'm done. Yet homeschooling will then require us to go maybe 3 hours per day or 4 hours per day for them to grasp the correct amount of knowledge, right? So I personally wanted to homeschool, but then since I can't, I then took my child to a formal school whereby they have my values, they have my philosophies, they have my principles, the environment is conducive, the environment is healthy, it's diverse, it's inclusive, all of that, and it truly nurtures who my child is, what my child's sole purpose is, right? So I outsourced homeschooling to a school, but then I wanted to be involved regardless, right? So I really needed that parent teacher relationship to be extremely strong, so I know what they're doing, when they're doing it, how they're doing it, and why, so I can be kept in the loop and understand and help and intervene. Okay, luckily I was very lucky enough that this school is truly exactly what I wanted. Okay, so this school truly tightens parent teacher relationship. Once a month there is a parent teacher kind of thingy. So I truly love that. I truly loved it because now I can then voice out my concerns and the teacher can relay their concerns to me, right? It's truly something beautiful. I loved it. It's amazing. So I think those are the things you need to look at too. And then identity, right? Will the child's culture, heritage, values, etc., be respected? Or maybe they are told that no, don't use your mother tongue, right? Asikhulunywa Swati lana, right? Because I know, we live in a world whereby most schools are in what you call English medium schools, and we're like, yeah, nice. Is it though? Is it though? Or we're just missing the point here. There's something we're gonna lose. Okay, so Some schools, they're like, straighten your hair. You can't come with your afro hair. Your afro hair is untidy. What are you trying to say about me? Am I untidy, my nature? What's the next thing you're going to say? You're going to say my dark skin is dirty. Right? So those are kind of things that you need to look at. That is the child's culture praised or oppressed and suppressed. Okay? Where I take my child to, they're allowed to come with their big hair. But then the hair has to be tied, because when it's too big, maybe it's obstructing other kids, right? That should be the reason. Not that it's untidy. No, you can't tell me that African hair is untidy. It's my nature. It's how I am. It's who I am. So when you say that, no, child, you're not allowed to come to school with your big African hair, then that's where you're wrong. Rather, you say when it's too big, it then obstructs other things in the class. So tie it up, right? That's what they emphasize in my daughter's school. So I love that they encourage culture, they encourage heritage, right? So the child then understands that, oh, I am not an outcast. It's what a human being is. Black people have big hair. Black people have brown skin, right? They tend to understand themselves that, oh, I am allowed to take up space. I am allowed to exist. I am perfect just the way I am. I'm also a human just like the white person is, right? Because even with the white kids, they're not allowed to come to school with their hair down, because it may then disturb them when they are moving about or bending over, right? So they are forced to tie up their hair. See, no double standard. That's what I love about the school. That school is really beautiful. Beautiful. If you want to know the name of the school, WhatsApp the number on your screen and then we'll talk. Especially if you're in Eswatini and you want to, and you're exploring on good schools around Eswatini. However, it's in Babane, so if you want, if you are maybe in Manzini and all that, there is no boarding school. It's a day school. It's a day scholar kind of school, right? So yeah, I can hook you up. It's a really good school. Amazing, beautiful, beautiful values, beautiful principles, beautiful standards, beautiful philosophies. Okay, it's a really amazing school according to me, right? And then now let's get to the framework. Okay, now you understand the types of schools. Once we've listed the types of schools, we've listed the questions to ask in order to understand the types of schools, right? Now you've asked yourself the questions and you know the types of schools. But how do I get to saying that, yes, now this is the school that's perfect for my child, that's perfect for my family? Okay, so now let's make the decision. Number one, you make the decision according to your priorities, right? What matters most to you? Are you looking for academics? Do you want your child to take the creativity route? Are you looking for faith? Do you want your child to be a faith-based child, right? Do you want to cultivate their emotional intelligence? Do you want to cultivate culture, right? Know the priority. You can even write down a list that, okay, in my list, my child can see that my child is artistic. Therefore, the school should have a strong creativity base, right? And then you see that, okay, my child still needs to understand math. So your second in line, maybe it's academia, right? And then you see that your child is interested in sports a bit. Then the third priority is sports and athleticism, right? So yeah, you can write down your priorities. So that's when you get to the school and they tell you about their visions, about their principles, about their values. You look your priorities and you're like, okay, they align, they align, they align. Sometimes they may align, but in a wrong order, right? Maybe they are pushing forward academics and maybe creativity is down there below everything. It's even shadowed by everything to an extent that it's overlooked, right? Then it does align with you, but it's in the wrong order. It's not your school. Find a school that goes, at least it says creativity at the top, sports maybe second, maybe academic, right? Just look at your priorities and look at their priorities and look at the alignment, right? You may have the same values, but they may be in the wrong order, so it's not your school. You should have at least same values, and maybe somehow, if it's your top priority pillar, now go at least and make top 3, you feel me? So if it's in your top priority, make sure that it's at least in their top 3 priorities too in the school. Okay, so number 1, making decisions in line with priorities. Number 2, make your decision in line with research. Okay, so visit the school, ask about philosophy, observe the classrooms, attend these open day kind of orientations, right? In these schools, for me personally, I truly appreciate, in fact, where I am. There are some regions in the world whereby the public schools are extremely exceptional, they're extremely good. But where I am, public schools have lost value, so much so to an extent that they are not schools at all. They are not schools at all. They are just centers where children go and gather. That's according to me as to what I'm saying, in line with my principles, philosophy, right? So I prefer private schools. Yes, they have their own adverse impacts on families and children. They do, nothing perfect, but they are 90% better, according to me, compared to public schools. So I do visit these open day kind of things. I go to these schools and understand them. Sometimes they even invite other schools, especially when my child was going to preschool. They used to invite primary school head teachers to come and present about their schools, right? So they would then tell us then, okay, on this day it's an open day, come and check us out. And then we'd go and check the school out, such that when you make a decision on which school to apply, you have visited the school and you know the structures, you know what is where, how is done, why, right? You've now understood the philosophies firsthand. It wasn't theory, it wasn't just verbal communication, you saw it firsthand, right? So yes, yes. I was saying that research. Go online, ask people, go there yourself, read their prospectors, attend the orientations, attend open day, right? So that you understand what they are, right? Their philosophies and values, right? And then number 3, test fit. I know this one is a bit dramatic and it's not part of our standard. It's not, what's the word? It's not widely known and widely accepted, right? But it's a thing that you can do, especially if you're somebody like me who doesn't comply to societal norms and standards. Or I don't comply, I do my own thing. If it suits me, I am going for it. If it doesn't suit me, no matter who says what, I will not do it and I will not go for it. That's just me. My stubborn nature, a go-getter. Right? That's just who I am. So test fit. What is test fitting? It's when you ask, would my child thrive or survive here? You ask by testing. Take your child there. Maybe you've made the decision that, okay, maybe this school, we kind of align with it and it's kind of better, right, compared to other schools. So this one is best because our philosophies, our values, maybe they kind of align a bit. So test fit. Take your child there for that year and observe, right? Observe the child, observe the behavior, observe how they're going. Ask the child, communicate with the child. How was school? How do you feel about school, right? Those kind of things. So you're test fitting. If you can see that your child is thriving, they are doing beautifully, they are flowering amazingly, right? Then that's their school. But if you can see a deterioration, because you know your child, right? You can see that, no, man, something isn't right. Then we're coming to the other aspect of it. Be flexible, okay? Remember, choices are not permanent. You can shift as you move. This is really a taboo. It's an unpopular opinion, but it's true, okay? Hi, PK. How are you, Your Majesty? Right? We live in a world whereby we are taught that choose this thing and stick to it. Blind loyalty. Toxic loyalty. Okay? When you look around, you can see that it's happening almost everywhere. And it's toxic ego. It is toxic ego. Because you say that, okay, now that I've chosen to be free evangelical assembly person, I cannot go to Mbaba Miracle Center Church, right? I'm talking about my churches, by the way. Those are my churches. Love them to bits. I personally, when I'm with my friends, I go to Free Evangelical Assembly because most of the time that's where they go. My church, when I'm at home, it's Mbabane Miracle Center Revival Life Ministries. I go there. When I'm at home, we go to the Zion Church. I go there. So as I've said, I'm that kind of person who doesn't. I do have an ego, but my ego is extremely flexible to an extent that I can fit in anywhere, anyhow, without pinpointing. And no, I'm not racist like that. My ego is extremely fluid. I am grounded. Don't get me wrong. I am grounded. I know who I am. I know what I am. But if it won't break me, then let's make this example before we continue. Let's make this example. Let's say I want something to lotion my mouth. Let's make an example. My mouth is dry, right? So I need something to oil it, to oil my mouth, okay? So there's this chapstick, right? It's oiling just fine. But then it's coloring my mouth. And I'm like, oh, it colors my mouth. Okay. I don't mind if it colors my mouth, as long as it will also lotion it, right? Oh, it lotions it. It's so nice and silky. Okay. Okay. And you're like, oh, it colors it. Oh my, I'm colored, right? And you're like, it's a beautiful color and I'm lotioned. I don't have a problem with it. It's fine. It's fine as long as I'm lotioned, right? And then you come across this one. You're like, okay. Ah, oily. But oh, it's lotioned. It's fine as long as it's lotioned, right? And then you come across this one. You're like, ooh, okay. Petroleum, beautiful, right? So if it does the job, then that's perfect. Not unless I'm not making an example of this. I'm not gonna put it on my mouth for real. Right? But unless I take something and I'm told that this is also lotion, right? It's dusty, it's dirty. If I put it in my mouth, it will make my mouth dirty. Then I will not do that, right? But if it lotions my mouth and it's not against what I truly want, for example, maybe this chapstick was maybe color yellow. I don't want to be yellow. It lotions, yes, but then it then gives me a yellow color, something I don't want. Then that's not for me. I will not do that. But if it lotions me and it gives me a color, I'm like, wow, it's even better. Then I'm going for it. If it lotions gives me extremely glossy and it's something I like, then I go for it. That's what I'm trying to say here. I'm trying to say that I can go to a Muslim church. I can go to a Christian. I can go to the mosque for Muslims. I can go to the Christian church. I can go to a Baha'i center. I can go to a Buddhist center. I can go anywhere as long as they are speaking about the love, light, peace, and harmony that I propel. Then I am for it. That's just who I am. What's the point I was trying to make here? I was trying to say that be flexible enough. We live in a society whereby you are forced to stick to who you are. You are an African. You are a Swazi, you are a Christian, right? They're labels which you cannot break out from. And when you sit down and think that these labels are just things that work me, they're just an illusion. Who said that I want to be that? What if I want to be this and that and that and that? What's wrong with being that, right? So what I'm trying to say here is, in as much as you live in a world that tells you that choose this and stick with it, that's not a way to go. I'm just here to validate that if you feel boxed by these identities, I'm here to tell you that this is not a box. It's just an illusion. Look around. You're like your horse tied to a paper. Just because you can see the leash, now you're like, oh, let me comply and sit here, even though I don't like being leashed. But then what can I do? Because I'm already tied down. Look around. It's a piece of paper. You can literally go. You can literally escape the leash. You are not even tied down. It's an illusion. That's what I'm trying to say here. Okay? So yes, be flexible. Remember, choices are not permanent. You can shift as you move. You can see that yes, in as much as I've committed to this school, I have put my child in this school, but then it's now 3 months down the line and you can see your child is losing weight, your child is now losing her sense of identity, right? Take her out, take them out, take them to another school. Let's lose this thing of being, I have decided, therefore I cannot. No, life is not like that. It's just an illusion that is created by toxic societal standards, okay? And then the last decision making point is access, right? Consider your resources, standards, child needs, etc., right? For example, let's say maybe you are earning way below average, okay? Excuse me, I'm going to be realistic. I'm going to be realistic here. In as much as in my circle, I truly hate a person who grades themselves below average, right? Because in life, I personally believe that you are what you have accepted to be, right? I teach that in my school, not here, okay? I'm just going to summarize it a bit. If you're interested in knowing these esoteric knowledges as to why you manifested, why you are where you are, and how to break out, come to my school. WhatsApp the number on your screen and we'll take it from there, okay? But then right now, I'm just going to tell you that as a person, you are where you are because you've accepted to be there. It's the same thing I was just talking about in line with the horse that is leashed to a paper. You have been put into that level and you have stayed in that level because you've accepted to be there, but you can break out. You can't break out from that level. But then right now, because we're not in that school, we are speaking to people who are living in the real world. Daughter of Kemet! Oh hi! Long time! How have you been, Your Majesty? Welcome back. So, right now let's talk practicality, okay? Personally, I don't like people who have accepted to live below average, right? I truly don't like that value. I don't want to associate myself with a person who's like, Vele, I'm below average, I've accepted it, and I'm very just very in line with below averageness. I don't like that. And that's why I have this esoteric knowledge school, because I want to take you out of this poverty mentality, okay? But then let's just say currently, Your Majesty, but then let's say that currently you are still having that mindset. Look at yourself, then don't take your child to a school that maybe requires 100,000 from you. Now I'm being practical, right? Maybe you are earning $1,000 per month and you're taking your child to a school that was 100,000 per year. It doesn't make sense, because even if you can take your whole income and invest it to the school every month, you still wouldn't make it, right? So yes, what I'm saying by access, I'm saying that be practical, consider your resources. But then if you want to break out from that state that you are in currently, come to me, let's talk about it, okay? Also consider the standard, right? Same thing, right? Now you have taken all of your income and invested it into your child's school fees, lunchbox, transport money. Your child cannot go to school, cannot come to that $100,000 school in a wheelbarrow. They cannot. Now you need a Porsche car to take them there. Now we're talking standard. Maintain the standard. Don't take your child to a poor school. Now they're there. They are feeling inferior. They are now incurring traumas. Why? Right? So yes, make sure that they reach the standard. The lunch boxes, it's lunchtime now. Everybody's opening their lunch box. Now your child is bringing ingqwangqwa to a school whereby the children are bringing forth sushi, vegan burgers, right? You get where I'm going. Now it's uniform time. Your child is coming forth with a second-hand ragged uniform because now all of your money was invested in school fees, and now you're barely scraping the surface to even pay for transportation fee, for stationery fees, for right. So yes, by access I'm talking about. Look at your resources, look at the standards, and also look at your child's needs. Okay, have you taken your child to this expensive school, and maybe you're pushing academia, and yet your child is an athlete? So you've taken them to the wrong school. Now you're wasting money on something that's not even nurturing your child in the first place, right? So yes, by access I mean that. So now let's get to the golden honeymoon. Homeschooling. According to me, homeschooling is the golden honeymoon, guys. You can never go wrong with homeschooling. According to me, it's something I wanted to do, but then I don't have enough resources. By resources, I don't mean money. I don't have enough energy, enough capacity, enough bandwidth, enough patience to be a teacher, to be a devoted tutor or mentor. As I've said, I do have a school myself, but then it's a 1 hour thing, tops, done. So that's the kind of bandwidth I have. Yet with schooling, you need more than an hour, right? If you're going to go for an hour, it has to be intense then, right? As I've said, I lack the patience, I lack the energy, I lack the emotional bandwidth to put in so much intensity. If I'm not putting intensity, I have to put longer hours. I don't have the energy for longer hours. However, I have to be in a homeschooling setting. It is thing, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there, Dr. of Kemet, because this is another misconception we have. We think that homeschooling then takes away social skills, but then let's talk about it. That's where I'm getting at. That the first reason why I opted out of homeschooling was because personally I cannot. But then if I could, I feel like it's the golden honeymoon. It's the jackpot of schools, right? It's a jackpot schooling system. Here is why I'm saying it. Number one, there's flexibility. I'm getting to the part of social what, because there is a way to make your child go out there and be sociable, but still homeschooled. I'm getting them. Number one, there's flexibility. So children and parents, they set up their curriculums and understanding and learning times at their own pace and their own personal availability. So there is no pressure. Such an introvert yet in his class is sensitive as well, I should say. Yes, exactly. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, daughter. You took exactly the route I took. I wanted a school set up that will look like homeschooling, but it's also a formal school. So that's what I did too. I was like, okay, they will fit here. Obviously, thank you. Exactly. That's also what I did. And I'm happy that you are literally echoing what we've been talking about at the beginning of the session. That look at the child, look at the child's needs, look at what the school is providing. Is it aligning? Imagine now taking your child to a school that has 50 plus people per class, the overstimulation. Now the child, it's not serving the purpose, right? You're just throwing money away at this point, right? So yes, understand the child, understand the school, make sure that everything is aligned. And with me, guys, shame, I would have chosen homeschooling. It's the best thing. Given enough emotional bandwidth and enough energy, woo, I would go for it. Homeschooling is the best. As number one, as I've said, that the flexibility that you can do it, like be like, okay, today we're taking our 4-hour session, we're starting at 10, we'll end at 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, we're done by 2 p.m. right? The child gets to rest, get enough rest, they sleep and wake up at whatever time, because they know that classes begin at 10. Because I do understand the concept of going to school, and the school is starting at 7 a.m. Like, are we in prison? Exactly, daughter. Exactly. I'm like, are we in prison here? Right? So for me, homeschooling would be best for me and the kids, because both of us would have enough rest. And another thing, just a disclaimer, we are dreamers. My kids and I are dreamers. So most of our dreams, they come forth at 5 a.m. Right? Dreams which maybe are a portal to showing us into what we should do as a family, what should be done, what we should be aware of, what we should. Right. But now we cannot because we have to be up by 5 at the very same time when the children are coming forth, right? So homeschooling for me would be the best ever route because we would have even that time for our spiritual encounters, right? So by the time it's 10 a.m., and by the way, my online schools really they start at 10 a.m. because I have to do all of those things adequately, right? So I feel like homeschooling would be the best for me in line with that. So number 1 is flexibility. Number 2 is integration, right? Cultural, language, heritage, values, they are woven within lessons, right? Let's take my daughter's school, for example. Okay, as I've said, everything is perfect about it. Everything is perfect. However, there can never be anything without flaws. No matter how perfect something is, it's got its flaws, right? Personally, for my child's school is a very diverse school, right? It allows everybody, regardless of religion, ethnicity, political views, and all that. It allows everybody. However, if you look at it closely, it does not. If you look at it closely, externally, it does allow diversity, but when you look at it closely, it pushes Christianity forward. They are talking about as at assembly time, they are pushing the Bible and Christianity, right, and all of those things. So for me personally, I feel like my child will not have enough of the African indigenous spirituality because they're demonizing it, yet I'm trying to cultivate it. So that's the clash there. Yes, Your Majesty, I save these videos in my YouTube channel. The link is in my bio. Yes, from week 1 up until today, you'll find them. They're on Facebook. They're on YouTube. So that's what is happening in line with the school. However, for me, religion and spirituality is not at the toppest of my priority list. It's somewhere there. So that's why I'm like, even though they're incorporating Christianity that much and denying what I'm trying to instill, it's fine. She'll come back home and then I will instill it. I will then correct what they, right? So it's that tug of war I'm currently playing with my school. Yet in line with homeschooling, you would be able to move these things in line with the school. That you know what, other people believe in this, other people believe in this, right? There will be that diversity I'm literally looking for, and there is no school I have found that is like that. I'm given a puzzle. There is no school that I've found that is like that. This school sold me a lie. I know they're trying their best, but I feel like they sold me a lie because when I sit my child down, I'm recognizing that. Sorry guys, I'm doing a puzzle here. When I sit my child down, I recognize that actually it's a Christian school. Okay, I'm fine with it. I don't mind it because there's nothing wrong with Christianity. I just hate it when it's demonizing my culture, my value, my roots. Right? Fine, speak about Christianity, but don't demonize my roots. It's really what I'm trying to cultivate in children, right? So yes, in homeschooling, there won't be any clashes. Your philosophy is what you have in mind. Okay, I want my children to know the roots. I want my children to understand this and that. You will never find it in any school. Yet in homeschooling, you can then cultivate it yourself, okay? So that's the integration I'm talking about, that it's woven into the lessons. No clashes, no whatsoever. And then number 3 is personalization. Okay, you understand your child's strength, you understand your child's weaknesses. This is your child. Wavudla kuwe for 9 months. You carried this child for 9 months. You know them before they even formed. You know them, how they came out into the world. You know how they grew into the world until they're this age. When you take them to a formal school, to a certain teacher, this teacher will then start knowing them now. It will be a shallow relationship, yet you and your child's relationship is extremely deep. Okay. Oh, Smoky! Hi, Your Majesty! Welcome back! Oh, today I'm bringing my people back. Right. So you will know your child's strengths and your child's weaknesses better than anybody in the world. So you'll be able to nurture and cultivate their strengths easily, and you will be able to support and lift their weaknesses better than any human being in the world. So that's another pro in line with homeschooling, that this child is being schooled by somebody who knows them through and through, who knows them before they were even born, who knows them while they were still in the spiritual realm. That's the deepest kind of knowledge anybody can ever know a person on, right? So that's another plus in line with homeschooling. And another plus is freedom, right? Less rigid schedules, more experimental learning. I so wanted to take... Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Osmaki, welcome. Thank you for the heart me. Welcome back, baby girl. Welcome back. It's okay. Don't worry. 40 minutes will be enough. And if you want to recheck the session, you can go to YouTube. Don't worry. It will be saved on YouTube. Okay. So for me personally, I so wanted my kids to be part of my online school. And every time I'm doing my business, because I do business on the side, they're there as my interns. And when I'm traveling, they're there to see the world and understand different cultures, right? Because I feel like nature is the best teacher, not a structured classroom. That's what I personally believed. But then, as I've said, I don't have the emotional bandwidth or the energy to be a constant tutor. I wasn't gifted that. But if I was gifted, I was going to bring forth the best children in the world. I kid you not, right? Because I don't believe that a child should be going to the same place every day from 6 a.m. coming back 3 p.m. every day, Monday to Friday. I don't believe in that reality. I feel like it's one of the things that then propels robots. It was good for industrialization. It was good for the industry route, the 9 to 5 route. But now we're bringing forth emotionally available entities. Then now it's not good for them, right? It won't work if we're right. So that's why I wanted homeschooling so bad, because I wanted to cultivate spontaneity, right? A child should just know that, if today maybe there's a dream that came forth I was sleeping, it came at 5 a.m. and it went on until 11 a.m. It's fine to miss class that day because I was still investing my energy into a matongo, right? That kind of life, right? The kind of life whereby like your digestive system is not aligned with namuhlanje, you are just called to fast, right? Maybe your internal alignment, your chakras, your aura is telling you that, okay, today you have to start eating at 3 p.m., right? But then at school, by 3 p.m., they're still in class, and you can raise your hand and say, teacher, my internal environment is telling me that it's time for food now. I'm not supposed to eat at break, but no, they can't. But if they are, hi, Prophet T, how are you, Your Majesty? But if they are homeschooled, they will understand that, okay, if my spiritual person is telling me that, okay, today you are fasting until 3 p.m., then you will eat at 3 p.m. If they're homeschooled, they can do that, right? So I feel like homeschooling cultivates that kind of holistic being, right? You can cultivate your spirituality, your emotional intelligence, your physical self, your mental self, your psychosocial self adequately without the rigid structures and rules and regulations that don't allow you to be flexible and spontaneous, right? So yes, that's what the freedom I'm talking about. However, there are challenges with homeschooling. One challenge is it needs serious parental commitment. As I've said, that I personally love homeschooling, but then I don't have the bandwidth or the emotional intelligence to be there consistently. I can literally die. I can't. For me, it's 1 hour max I'm giving out there and I'm done. Thank you, Prophet. Mwah. Thank you, Your Majesty. Right, that's just who I am. However, this thing requires full commitment of the parent. However, it is possible. Even for me, it would be possible if I had a village. However, we live in a world of capitalism and patriarchy, whereby the more you're isolated, the more you are perceived as, wow, you've made it in life, right? So if there was a village, you have your tutor, you are just there to mentor and see that the tutor is doing something that is right. You have your tutor, somebody who's going to do their math, somebody's going to help them with their art and craft, somebody's going to take them to sports, somebody's going, right? And also to tackle daughter's query. Go out there for sports, right? You take them to sports, you take them to do EMA examinations, because homeschooling doesn't mean that you are also accredited, right? When it's time for exams, your kids then go to a certain school to write their exam so they can get that certificate. There are some schools that are just there for homeschooled kids and they're extremely accredited, right? So then they socialize, then they go to sporting sessions, they go on vacations, right? So if you can have a village of people who come in for that. However, now the parent is not drained energetically, is now drained financially. So either way, you will be drained. But then I don't know. I'm very biased when it comes to this. Homeschooling is the best thing, according to me. Nothing can ever drain me if it brings forth what I truly want. So yes, for me, I feel like I don't know. I'm a person who is I'm very flexible. I may want something now and next time I do, right? So I'm that kind of person. But then where I am currently standing, I feel like I will eventually homeschool my kids, right? When I get, because I'm working towards a certain level, I'm working towards being an elite financial wise. So once I get to that space, I will homeschool my kids, and I would drop in all of these people: your math tutor, English tutor, what tutor, Siswati tutor, swimming coach, swimming sports clubs, this and that. I will. For me, that's a goal. That's the goal I am willing to die on, right? So yeah, I'm a bit, what happened? Well, my laptop didn't report. Now what's its battery low? It just switched off. It just switched off on me. It didn't even report, guys. Imagine. In a drama, shame in a drime. Okay. So. Okay. I don't know what is happening here, guys. Tell now well to summarize this. I don't know what's happening with my laptop. Well, inganekwa. I was supposed to summarize it, and now I'm supposed to make another video summarizing. What do I do, guys? Give me advice. Anyways, maybe it will come back, I hope, because it's charging. Okay. As I was saying that, yeah, for me, I feel like these challenges are just a minor thing. It's way better for me to just pay for the village, okay, than to pay for a formal school that barely meets the needs that I truly want for my family and for my children, okay? So that's just me, okay? Now let's bust some myths, shall we? There was an analogy I wanted us to read here. The laptop in lunch. Oh, in a drum. It is back up. Facebook is gone, it's fine. So, as I was saying that there was an analogy that I want to read, but I remember it in my head. The analogy was like school is like the soil. Okay, it's like the soil. Some soils, they don't have any nutrients, and some soils are extremely rich in nutrients, right? So if you plant, your child is the seed. If you plant your seed, into the soil that is not, that doesn't have nutrients, the seed will die a natural death. But if you plant your seed into the soil that has nutrients, your seed may flourish, right? It may have beautiful roots and flourish. However, if you just take the soil and bring it into your own personal care, cultivate the soil your own way. Look at your seed and be like, okay, this seed needs more magnesium, 3/4 of copper, 5 cups of calcium, right? When you nurture the soil in your personal space and in line with understanding your seed won't just flourish, it will thrive, right? So this means that some schools are just not good for a child and some schools are best for a child. But if you are homeschooling your child, then you have chosen the best route ever. I know. I'm being very much objective right now. I know. I'm taking sides. I know, because I love homeschooling. Therefore, really, I will forever promote it. But yeah, that's just me right now. Okay, so let's bust some myths, shall we? Before we then go and summarize, okay? So myth number 1. The first myth says homeschooling isolates children. There was daughter of Kemet here who said that according to her, she feels like homeschooling isolate children, and that's our first myth here. Yet no, that's far from the truth. With intentional socialization, homeschool children can be more confident and adaptable than formally schooled children, right? Because as I've said here, when you're homeschooling your kids, it doesn't mean that you're just sitting in your home and then just telling them what to do, prepping sessions, and it's just the home. No. So if your timetable is consciously and intentionally formed, okay, with their needs in mind, you will know that on this day we are doing swimming, and swimming lessons are in line with other kids, so they are socializing. And on this day it's sports day, sporting is done with other kids, so they are socializing. On this time of the month it's exam day, they will socialize. Maybe they will have a school trip, maybe they will have play dates, right? So if the timetable is done consciously and intentionally, they will socialize more than the formally educated kids, because these ones have more time to experiment and experience. There is no time frame, no schedule, no rigid structures, right? Maybe you can even take the whole day out as a field trip, you see. So yeah, I know I'm being very partial when I'm talking about homeschooling, because I feel like it's the best thing you can ever do for your kids, right? So it doesn't isolate them. If you prep their curriculum intentionally and consciously, they can be the best socialized kids ever, even way better than the formally educated kids, right? And then the second myth is the best school is the most expensive school. That's false, right? The best school is the one aligned to your child's needs and family values, because you can take your child to the most expensive school and you find that maybe their first priority is religion, and you are not religious at all. In fact, you don't want your child anywhere in line with religion, right? So it's not aligning with your family values. Maybe you take your child to the best school because maybe they provide academic excellence, yet your child is a sports star, they're an athlete, or they're creatives, they're artists. It's not serving your child's sole purpose. Instead, it's frustrating your child even more, because now they're going to push academia, which is not in your child's makeup, right? So you are literally killing your child more than bringing them up. So no, the most expensive school is not the best school. The best school is the one that aligns with your child's sole purpose and your family values. It may be the most cheapest school there ever was. It may be even the most affordable public school, because maybe your child is an athlete and this school truly propels competitions, sports, and all that, right? And it's just a public school, the most affordable public school. So look for understand your child's sole purpose and look for the school that has its philosophies and values in line with your child's sole purpose and your family values, then you've nailed it, right? So the last myth says parents aren't qualified to teach. Very laughable myth, that one. Hell no. Parents are the first and best teachers. With enough resources and support, they can facilitate powerful learning. As I've said, that there is no better teacher than the person whom the child was formed from. And by parent, this is a mother session. This is a motherhood session. We are mentoring the feminine vessel, right? The mother is the one that carried the child from the spiritual realm into the physical realm. Even though the physical umbilical cord is cut, the spiritual cord called the silver lining is never cut. And that thing connects the aura, your guys' aura, mother and child. Not even death does you part. If one person dies, the other one will remain tethered into them, because this thing, it aligns your spirit. It doesn't align your flesh. It doesn't merely align your aura. It even aligns your spirit. So mother to child bonding is an eternal bond. I kid you not. So imagine that kind of person teaching or mentoring or educating that child. They will grasp faster. Number one, you're teaching them with love. You're teaching them with understanding. You're teaching them because you know them. You know them deeper than anybody else. You are teaching them because you guys understand. If a mother can be a teacher, a formal teacher, the world could be a different place altogether. Because they're not just parents. They're the first and the best teachers there could ever be. Mothers, right? But then that's not where we are today. I was just busting some myths these are not true. Okay, so yes, advertising time. These are by myself. If you're interested in owning yourself a pair or two or more, WhatsApp the number on your screen and we'll take it from there. These are the August edition, and if you want to buy them in bulk at wholesale price, so that you can resell them, you can be a retailer. Also WhatsApp the number on your screen and we'll take it from there. If you want to learn how to make this, I teach how to make it. Also WhatsApp number on your screen and we'll take it from there. And if you want to get my books, as I've said, there is a diary and a book, and there are books I have written in line with mentorship, spirituality, and whatnot. If you're interested in getting them, WhatsApp the number or here on your screen, and then we'll take it from there. And what am I missing? We are live every Friday, South Africa, every Friday, 1 p.m. South African Standard Time, mentoring the feminine vessel. You mentor the feminine vessel, you've indirectly mentored society at large. So that's what we are aiming to do here. And if you're interested in knowing what we shall be talking about in the next weeks, always check my status. I always post the lineup on my statuses, on my stories. I was marking young Shafisa on my stories. Just check the story on TikTok, WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram. Yes, that's where I post the lineup on what we shall be talking about every week. So let's summarize. Yo, guys, I speak until my mouth cracks. Shame. Yo, I'm such a speaker. So let's summarize the hell out of this. Forgive my barbarism. Okay. So let's summarize this. Where is my case? Oh, there it is. Okay. So today we were on week 31 and choosing the right school. Our session theme summary reads: this week is about aligning your child's educational environment with your family's values and your child's unique needs. From public to private, Montessori to homeschooling, there is no one size fits all. The right school supports curiosity, confidence, and love of learning. The chapter from our book is taken from chapter Childhood and Identity Formation. It reads, when identity becomes a costume. Okay. Many children become fluent in switching roles. They are calm at school, chaotic at home, polite at church, explosive at bedtime. This doesn't mean they are manipulative. It means they have learned to meet each environment with the vision that is safest. But when the performance lasts too long, the real self begins to recede. Whoa! The gist of this whole thing is living from alignment means choosing what resonates, not what is expected. Wow! What is our quote for today? Our quote reads, I've lost the quote. Our quote reads, speak often, read daily. Wrong quote. Sorry guys, I'm reading the wrong quote. Yes. What is our quote for today? Our quote reads, you are not just picking a school. You are choosing a soil for your child's roots. Ooh, baby. I see you there, dear. It's you. Who is DOK now? What is DOK? I'll smack you. Oh, speak to somebody else. Thank you guys. Oh my, today my laptop is glitching like nobody's business. I was reading here and it just jumped to our previous session and I was busy scrolling here, but that's fine guys. We made it. I was reading from the diary right now. The summary tells you which chapter in the book this lesson was taken from. Not taken from per se, but which chapter it aligns with, in line with the session. So as I've said, the book goes hand in hand with the diary, because this book truly, I feel like it is meant for moms and their children. And remember, the world is made up of mom and their children. There is nobody outside of that. Even men are women's children. There is a quote that says that half of the population is woman and the other half is their children. So yes, you mentor a woman, you've mentored society. So this book is meant for moms and their children. Truly, this story, beautiful, goes hand in hand with the book. Guys, get the book. You're that book. It helped me and I'm the author, imagine. So it helps you understand the traumas that you've incurred, whether they're childhood traumas or you've incurred it along the way. It takes you from birth until death, and you understand when it's happening, how it's happening, and why it's happening, and then you can just address it. It's beautiful. I was smacking. Stop laughing at me. So truly, it's a beautiful book, guys. The diary prompts you to write down your emotions so that you can contain this entity called emotions. Emotions are so vast, they are so all over the place, and they may overwhelm you. So when you write them down, you name them, it means that you've contained them into this entity you can now interact with. They are now not overwhelming because you have named them, you have contained them, right? So this journal prompts you to do that. You name your emotions, you plan your week ahead, you understand the session we're going to be talking about, it summarizes it for you, you can understand it better, and then it asks you as to how did you feel in the session, and what are you looking forward to in next week's sessions, and also it tells you that okay, this session aligns better with this chapter of the book, right? So it's really a beautiful read. But then guys, I think we're done for today. Mwah! See you next week Friday. If you're interested in knowing what I shall be talking about, go to my story, TikTok, Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram, and you will understand what I shall be talking. It's a whole lineup going further into the future. I mean, it goes like more than 8 weeks ahead, so you'll see what we should be talking about and prepare ahead. Otherwise, yeah, if you want to connect, have any questions or anything, that's the number on my screen. Oh, I forgot. Every Friday after these sessions at 7 p.m., we have a Q&A session whereby we just sit down and talk like a panel kind of system, but it's on WhatsApp on this number. So if you're interested, we just sit, we vent and understand the session better. This is what I liked about the session. This is what I can add to the session. This is what I can eliminate from the session, right? So you understand the session better. You help me, we help each other. There is no teacher, there is no mentor, it's just mothers, it's just people, it's just a society sitting together and just understanding life together. So if you're interested in joining it, just WhatsApp the number on your screen and we'll take it from there. So every Friday, 7 p.m. South African Standard Time, we have these sessions on WhatsApp as WhatsApp video calls. So if you're interested, come by. Let's talk about this session. Anyways, from me, mwah, bye guys. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, bye.